Hello everybody, they're coming news and I welcome you back to the Thaumaturge. I did do a bit of sneaking and creeping around off camera, but you'll notice we're not at the cemetery. There is good reason for that, but let's catch you up on what's happened. So, in my sneaking about, I discovered a few things. I found most of the viewpoints in the southern area, but I couldn't reach Imperial Hotel because it's behind some locked gates. I did, however, find lesson in drawing. So that's two different lessons we've now got potentially on the go that we'll have to look into. I also discovered some notes that suggested, I think we'd already picked up this quest, I'm not sure. But apparently there's a chap who drinks in a bar, and if we talk to him about the good old days, he might spill some beans about the tales of Warsaw. So we'll have to get that done at some point soon. I then came to the riverbank to find the viewpoint here, and something interesting happened. Also, we've learned where the artist hangs out, and apparently he's a bit of a patriot, so we may as well go and see his show before the Cossacks kick his door in and burn all of his pro-Polish artwork. But yes, the riverbank. I came here, I smoked a cigar, got one of those little sketches for it, and then I started to come down here, and a cutscene started to play, so I quit the game so we could enjoy it together. Morana. Nice hat.
Morana, hello. Let's see what brought you here. I felt something. Where is it?
The goddess of death and new beginnings. All I wanted to do was view this point. Yep, that's a riverbank. That's for sure. But in the process of trying to view that, I saw Morana. So, yes, that'll be a side quest that we've picked up, I think. The Art of Dying. Good album. Availability is limited. Okay. I'm not sure if we need to do that one immediately. We might be able to get away with another main quest before we do that one. But let's see what else is on and about. There's something in this vicinity. A body lying on a riverbank. Okay. Human life is worth as much as the words of a poet written in sand. Interesting. Over here we find not much of anything. And, oh yeah, there's a body.
Please, step back. This is a crime scene.
I can see that. Am I wrong, or does the deceased have no eyes?
Yeah, no eyes, all right. And why would there be? He's the fisherman's sixth victim.
Hey, Rogulski, cut the chit-chat.
The fisherman.
And you 3 steps back. Go on.
Interesting.
Is the fisherman some local criminal?
Get out of here while I'm still asking nicely.
Easy, I'm going now. I don't want to bother you.
Just what I need. A fucking throng of onlookers.
Is it you? We definitely picked up something there. Case being handled by Commissioner Palevin and his people. Yeah, I don't want to delve too deeply into this. We've got a few different jobs on the go right now. Maybe we'll talk to the artist.
Move a little to the left, will you? You are blocking my view.
Why are you painting dead people?
What are you doing here? Drawing an illustration for a newspaper?
For myself, as a local artist. I'm Cayetan.
Do you specialize in still lives?
Yes, you might say that. Here in Povishla, nothing interesting's ever happened. But there you go.
Murders with an artistic twist.
Very inspiring material.
Let's ask about Poichne.
Povishla doesn't seem like a pleasant place to live.
Is life itself pleasant? I don't think so. Even those mutilated bodies, they have no eyes. As if the murderer tried to say there's nothing to see here.
So you're saying that nothing matters?
Exactly. Once, misfortune brought me to this river. I wanted to end my life. But the river wouldn't have me and threw me back on the bank. I decided to stay around.
And how's the painting going?
What exactly do you paint?
Dead bodies.
Someone might say the dead deserve respect.
I'm saying that both life and death are meaningless. You are blocking my view.
Okay, sorry.
I'll go now.
So there we go. Not really learned much else from chatting to him, but that's fine. What's next on our agenda? I don't think there's anything else to do in this area that we know of yet, but there are a couple of points of interest. So maybe we gather those up. Maybe we just have a look around.
Any fish biting?
It doesn't matter. What do you want?
My name is Victor. I only wanted to ask what was going on here.
With those damn police?
They are trying to catch the fisherman, and the fisherman is doing his bit.
Is it bad that they're doing their job?
And what for? Did anybody call them? Anybody complain?
What, do you think murder doesn't bother anyone?
Like there are never any murders in Povishla. Big deal.
The river giveth and the river taketh away.
We'll do fine. We don't need the police here.
Something to hide?
Who's the fisherman?
The one who left the body on the beach. Stark naked, with pebbles in place of eyes, and a hook stuck in the roof of the mouth.
Like a fish. That's what he always does.
The police call him a serial killer. A dozen people he's snuffed out like that already. The son of a gun.
You sound like it doesn't bother you too much.
And what should it bother me for? If he kills, he kills. We are not to judge if that's good or bad.
The river giveth, and the river taketh away. Yep.
What if he kills you next?
And they can't catch the fisherman even though he continues to kill. Is that right?
He's smart, shrewd, not like those police fools. And everyone knows who he is.
How so?
Because, you see that guy on the beach who set up his easels in the sand and is painting?
He's the fisherman.
He paints all those bodies. He's always around the new ones. They even raided that hovel of his. Right, Edek?
Yep.
It does look a bit sus if he's always there, but then again, if he's always patrolling the river looking for more bodies to paint.
It does look suspicious.
Everyone says it's him. He's a weirdo, living like a hermit in that hovel. Nothing holds any value for him, so maybe he takes people's lives just for the hell of it.
Yep.
Where is this hovel?
And where is that hovel?
Go along the river and behind the workshop. Am I right, Edek?
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you, gentlemen. Happy fishing.
Yeah, right.
Given as I didn't want to stop here for very long, I appear to be investigating a certain amount of this case already, so... yeah. But no, we're going to go back to the cemetery. We're just going to look around. We're going to find the waypoints, or the points of interest. And then we're going to move on with our lives. A tasty dish. Wonderful. That's what we want. We want waypoints that are just, here's some XP. Now stop getting distracted and go back to your business. That's what we want. Did we discover something? We got those little red sparks popping up. Where did they come from? Something a bit further on maybe. Which is why I can't get it to focus on. There we go. A brochure, Madame Lulu. A Tarot Master. Another limited quest. Okay, so there's some drunkards. We're talking about a weirdo, so they probably know the artist. That's probably what they're chatting about.
Hey, you can't be here.
Cayetan doesn't allow it.
I don't like you, Sonny.
He's got nice shoes though.
They are nice. Everyone seems to want them though.
I wish I didn't buy them at all.
Well, I don't like that kind of resignation.
But I still like your shoes.
Okay, so last time I tried to win a fight with only suffering, it didn't work because I removed focus at one point, and that's apparently an issue. Attack with Lelek to disable the invulnerability. So I can't make that guy... Yeah, I can't make that guy vulnerable to suffering without attacking him with Lelek. We've not used Lelek at any point. Effective at depriving enemies of focus and can transfer our states onto them. Interesting. So, Lelek, what are you capable of? Reduces focus. Protects you against states being inflicted upon you in any given round. Reduces 2 focus. Removes all states from me and puts them on a foe. Removes focus and interrupts an enemy if they're suffering. Inflicts damage. And lowers all enemies' focus. Okay. Let's just break this guy down. And then maybe let's just punch him in the face. It's hard to focus when you're being punched in the face. Oof. We got clobbered with a spanner. Okay. Now, we can increase our inflicted damage. And then damage-based attacks will be more effective against this enemy. We could make him suffer at this point. What about that guy? What if we doom that guy? No, because he's just going to not take a lot of damage at any point. Maybe we want to doom this guy to just get him started on the old suffering. We got clobbered again. What effects have we got there? That's the one that boosts our attack, isn't it? Planned attack would restore our focus. I don't think we need to worry about that right now. And that guy is suffering. But maybe if Bukovac hits this one, then we might suffer both of them because he'll be under 50% HP at that point. So we can double up the suffering on the other lad, who's pretty strong. Yeah, he's still not taking a huge amount of damage from it, but that's okay. And then action reaction would put this guy on his ass. And then as for you, you're not going to hit us for a while, but when you do, it's going to be a big one. Inflicts 8 damage for each enemy affected by suffering. So that'll do fixed damage. Even though his damage is reduced. I think that should be good. So down you go. Oh no, I had the wrong enemy targeted, so Bukovac has just come back to me. Okay. Let's give you a quick attack. And maybe just inflict more suffering. That's interrupted his action. And he's actually had, yeah, both. So Bukovac did double suffering because he's below 50% HP, and they can both go on the same target. That's real good to know. That's those guys out the way. Some people have fallen into apathy, others act recklessly. So it's all nihilism. That would be the flaw around here, I guess. We could look in the shack, but we're not about that quest right now. We just came down here to eat some snacks and smoke some cigars and read some newspapers. Funeral parlour. Okay. There's a little square here. So we'll have a look down here. There's a door to the brothel. Okay. And there's something to focus on in the area. A letter. There's a tarot reader involved. Madame Lulu predicted an imminent trip. Puts all his eggs in one basket, he would lose his family fortune. So that suggests she can accurately predict the future. And why not? Mysticism is certainly a reliable sort of force in this world of Salators and creatures that can hear the word of God. So, yeah, maybe she can. I'm not going to be skeptical, given my own abilities. Watchman's report. Suspicious behaviour of two brothers. Okay, they've been out and about, engaging in activities. Possibly murders?
I haven't been here in a while. What do you want to tell me, friend?
Wait, is this the Loan Shark's place? Because that was one of our quests. A vision. Go where the fog is thinner. Remember, Upir doesn't like to be ignored. If you go into the fog, the vision disappears.
I'll be first. You'll see.
Slow down. You'll get your clothes all dirty.
So we're all racing along. What's happened? Did I go the wrong way? Maybe I went the wrong way. So, young Victor and friends run down here. See, there's fog there. Oh no, there is a bit up there, I guess. Are we going up these steps?
That kid, it's me. My mother thought I'd lost my mind. So did Liga, I guess. And that, as we know, didn't happen until much later. I didn't remember that Abaurize was there too. He must have been. After all, he'd laughed at me later for wetting my pants. It was my birthday. Was it then that you chose me?
Interesting. And now we appear to be elsewhere. We appear to be back near the start of this area. A pawn shop. Could be worth a visit. Don't know if we've really got any possessions about our person, but we've got a checkbook, haven't we now? So we could, theoretically, buy some pawned goods. Not much else going on in here right now, except speaking to the proprietor.
Hello. Hello, hello. How can I help you, sir? Are you buying? Pledging? Art, cards, old farts, top coats, ski, jewelry.
Yeah, the Loan Shark was from around here. Okay.
Do you remember Mieszko Setsemin? He was a loan shark around here.
And you're asking me because?
No reason.
Setsemin died a long time ago. They say someone attacked and shot him. Terrible tragedy. Terrible. Even talking about him might bring bad luck. And so, life goes on here in Powiśle.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
So this was the area that the loan shark hung out. So maybe we change our quest to that one whilst we're here. But we've also got a few other bits. Public announcement. Choose health, use soap. Interesting, who's left that there? And then there was one more spot we've not really been, which is up this road. And this man's playing a balalaika. Allowing children to play it too. Wonderful. That's another point for us. Upir wants to tell me something. 7 years of age. Saw Upir, pissed himself. So we need to find out what Upir wants. And does he want us to go somewhere else to find that out? Maybe that's why he put us back at the carriage after we saw the vision. Wants us to go to the northern area. Back to home, maybe. There he is.
What do you want to tell me, friend?
Find your way in the fog.
Victor, hurry. We'll be late for Mass.
I'm coming, Mother.
Okay, it looks like there is fog up there. We're supposed to go this way. Yeah. So if we move a bit at a time, and the screen doesn't start to go dim, then we're probably going the right way.
Victor, do you think that when you have a husband, you have to argue with him? I suppose so. I don't want a husband. You don't have to get one, but I'm worse off. Grażynka says that when I grow up, she'll find me a husband.
I remember that. The last Sunday before Father stopped taking us to church. Because of me. I accidentally touched the priest's stele as he passed us with the censer. That was the first time when I felt another person's thoughts, their intentions. I heard the words of someone's confession that the priest was thinking about. It was like they were directed at me. And I didn't falter to share them with the rest of the congregation. Mother didn't manage to stop me, and my indiscretion caused the prominent marriage to fall apart. My parents' marriage not long after.
Interesting. So was the confession from Father, maybe? Could have been. Now we're going to the south. And what's next on our agenda? Oh, we're going into the Imperial Hotel. No, maybe not.
You'll put me in an early grave.
Duh, because it's always the woman's fault when a man starts getting certain notions.
I'm the head of this family, and I deserve respect.
Okay, so arguments are occurring.
Father, can Abauretsi come with us to the sea?
Out of the question. Holidays are to be spent with family, with loved ones, not with servants.
His father was a bit of a douchebag. This much
Listen, boy.
Victor was right about.
You'll be the head of this family someday, and you have to understand that family is the one thing you can always rely on. Especially since you're a temperamencer. Others will rob you, kill you, or even worse, ruin you. You should keep your friends close, but never behind your back. And your enemies you should keep even closer, next to your heart, because only then will they not surprise you.
A suspicious man. Or Pops.
Rarely did I see my father so furious.
Looks a bit constipated more than
He
anything.
thought that a trip to the once Polish Baltic Sea would improve his chilly relations with Mother. I really didn't want to go. I preferred to play with Aborice in the streets of Praga. Mom wasn't disappointed that we stayed either. I didn't want to step on Father's toes again, so I asked Ligia to make a scene, like she did when Grażynka tried sending her to bed and she wanted to keep reading. I didn't even have to persuade her much. I wondered if it was the power of the twin bond or if I manipulated her subconsciously back then. Now I know I couldn't do it without forming our pact, but if that's the case, what were you doing here?
So what happened? Ligia threw a shit fit and that caused them to miss the train, and so the holiday couldn't go ahead? Seems like that's the case. Now we need to wait for events to unfold. So I think that quest is done for the moment. Yeah, Ligia started a quarrel with Father, which led to the holiday being missed out on. Ooh, the secret fighting ring. I guess we just picked that up by walking around, because I didn't click on anything that led to that, I don't think. All sorts of side quests to go. Well, the urban secrets aren't so much side quests, I guess, as just little bits and bats, but I do want to complete them all, if I can. But a full-on actual side quest still awaits in the graveyard, and that was my intention for today. Nothing else new on the map, so I guess we'll just head into the old boneyard if we can.
What is this foolishness? Open this gate!
Right. No one can keep us from entering the cemetery. It's a free country. Well,
How long are you going to keep wagging your chins? If it's closed, it's closed! Oh, Mr. Shulsky, finally.
Got your message.
I read your message. What is it about?
I won't talk about it out here in front of these boors. Come inside.
you're letting him in, Gravedigger? What the hell is going on?
Fight brewing?
Shut your mouths or I won't open till Judgment Day. This is about your father, you know.
I guess we'll head in.
All right, let's see what this is about.
Bah!
Okay, no punch up.
What did my father do this time?
I've got two pieces of news, so to speak. There's bad news, and I'm not sure what the other one is. Which do you want to hear first?
Let's have the bad news. I guess it's like his corpse has gone missing or something.
Tell me the bad news.
Today some rebel rousers came here and started making trouble. They ravaged your family tomb.
What do you mean, ravaged?
I couldn't believe it either. I sent you a note immediately.
What about the other news?
One night, I went out and saw the dead lying around. But not in their places, you know? In the pathways. And then I saw their graves dug up, as if the dead crept right out of the ground.
And these bodies are still lying here?
No, of course not. You can't do that. But if you want to learn more about the case, they might come out again tomorrow night. People are starting to talk about resurrections and the end of the world. Resurrections and now these maniacs. Judgment Day seems to be upon us, you know?
Who were these troublemakers?
Those vandals that ravaged the tomb. What did they look like?
I closed the gate because they're still hanging around there. Why don't you see for yourself, you know?
That'll be a punch up. And the resurrections?
According to my knowledge, dead bodies don't rise on their own. Were there any witnesses? Any noise at night? Traces?
Nothing. Just the stiffs in odd places.
Goodbye.
Get rid of this scum at once.
Okay. Shady characters hanging around the tomb. I think we've already admired this view. It does say that there's a point of interest in this vicinity, but I feel like we've already got that one. The crumpled newspaper pages ooze with someone's cool, cynical calculation. They use the obituary page as a map to find those waiting to be dug up. So yeah, we're dealing with grave robbers of some sort. Tomb is over there, isn't it? But let's have a look around. So somebody was trying to rob Father's corpse because, I don't know, organs, maybe? On the old black market? Medical experiments? Maybe they're just some sort of weirdo. Okay, so that's a trace from the grave digger, I guess. He's concerned that bodies aren't staying put. I'm not even sure if I need to be pulsing this perception as frequently as I am. But I'm concerned that if I don't, I'll miss something. And we don't want that. So I'm just going to have to go through the whole playthrough, just periodically right-clicking. Okay, this tomb. The widower's trembling hand. Okay, so the corpse of the wife was perched on her open coffin. Examine the area of the tomb. Visit the cemetery at night. Yeah, there's definitely stuff to be done.
Oh, darn it. Look at him.
I think he's a real, you know, temperamencer.
I'll show you how you talk to magicians. Are you so eager to die, Tempermancer?
I must admit that I can see some sort of vision behind this project. However, gentlemen, don't take it personally, but I can't allow you to continue this devastation. My sister spent a fortune on the engraving. She'll kill me if she finds out what happened here.
Then she'll have to get in line.
Sassy. Okay, we do have 2 points that we can spend. Debilitating wound. It's another suffering-based thing. Gives us extra HP, but it doesn't necessarily increase our deeds to 5, perhaps? Is that what I'm reading correctly here? Ice will slow the enemy's planned action. Yeah, let's go for this one. And then what available upgrades have we got? Agony and Old Wound as our damage over time attacks. Perfectionism casts on ourselves. Exposure puts a debuff on the enemy, but is that causing suffering to... It's adding a new debuff to them. I'm just thinking, we're running out of opportunities to get this suffer everyone achieve because the enemies are getting more difficult. So maybe I should just forget about it until I do like a second playthrough off camera or something like that. But let's see what our enemies are like. Invulnerability, resistance, attack with Lelek. Invulnerability, attack with Upir. Yeah, I think it's time to say heck it to that Chieve, and we'll just worry about beating people up if we can. So let's start the fight. This guy on the right needs an attack from Upir. So we could... Oh, come back Upir. I want to select this mount. Now, I would like you to reduce his focus. And then maybe we'll also reduce his focus. The other two aren't attacking for a few turns. Okay, that's pushed him way down the order, that's good. So potentially, let's see, attack with Lelek to disable, attack with Bukrach to disable. Yeah, maybe we reduce his focus again. And then Lelek works on the next one. Just with a quick one, I think. So, yeah, that guy's trait has been disabled, which is great. Now, if we attack this right guy again and divert him, that'll break him down, and his next attack will be ages away. And then this guy needs a bit of Bukrach. It probably can't hurt to start suffering this guy. Or we could doom him. No, the lower his enemy's points. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just suffer that guy. So your ability is just... yeah, you're not having a good time with it, basically. That guy kicked us. As did that guy. Damage, but not much else, really. To be honest. So this lad on the right can get smacked about. We could suffer that guy. With Bukovac. Focus deprivation will be more effective against this enemy though. Which means Lelek is the best bet. Interrupts an enemy's planned action. What about this guy? He's not attacking for a little bit. And he's suffering. So we can interrupt his action. And that guy's out of the fight. So yeah, that guy is going to be in a bad way. Maybe we also diversion. Peck his head and then confuse him a bit. He's close to being broken down. If Lelek were to use Deceptive Song, that would annoy him quite a lot. Next turn we'd be able to smack that guy for big damage, but what if we instead hit this guy and potentially interrupt his action? Okay, we failed to interrupt, but that's fine. That guy is getting knocked the hell out. This guy can have... we haven't got any negative states, so we could potentially use a Somber Trill. If we could make this guy suffer before Lelek acts, which sadly we can't, that would have been useful. Alas, Lelek goes first, so we've gotten down to one focus. But we've got time to now divert him. And potentially, yeah, we can get all of his focus down before his next attack. Good. And then he could just get knocked out. Wonderful. Are there any clues about their persons? No?
Let's take a look around.
Let's. There's certainly clues here. Discard a crowbar. Crude as the man who used it. They were instructed by the WAS to act. But they're just a simpleton that fears magic and is just a bit of a spoon. Demons. WAS. We can speak to the Gravedigger again. Find out more perhaps about who they are. The Warsaw something society would be my guess. Where's Gravedigger got to?
So, Mr. Shulsky, you gave those lads by the tomb a good belting, huh? I could hear the echoes.
Thank you, but they weren't too keen to talk, and I have a few questions to ask.
Maybe I could help, you know?
It's a rather grim job you've got here.
Well, you know. I'd rather do this than struggle with drunkards in a bar or bolts in a factory. The dead are calm and predictable, you know? Unless they start rising from the grave, that is.
Yeah, it's a reasonable argument for the job. Or at least it would be if this wasn't a world full of magic where the dead can in fact rise from the grave.
What is the WAS? Those fellas at the mausoleum were connected with it.
Ah, the Warsaw Anti-Thaumaturge Society. Loonies, you know. Ever since your father was laid to rest here, they've been yelling their heads off by the walls.
Where can I find their bosses? You know?
Why? Do you smell blood? There's one behind the cemetery wall inciting the crowd. Ask him. Once you have cleaned up near the mausoleum, I can open the gate.
Okay. I feel that should be WATS rather than WAS, but hey ho. And yeah, they're definitely a group we need to deal with.
Goodbye.
Good luck with the WAS, you know? Let me know when you get rid of them.
We can't have them hanging around, chatting nonsense. So we need to deal with them, but we also need to come back to the cemetery at night time. Has anything changed in the tomb? Doesn't look like it. So they didn't get in, maybe. It was securely shut. I don't know if there's any long-term time effects of switching to nighttime and things like that. But maybe we want to switch to nighttime at some point soon as well. Yeah, visit the cemetery at night is definitely a thing. Find a way to deal with the WAS, so they're down there somewhere. That'll be their man. He's got some gubbins on his table. Okay, they want to forbid the growth of thaumaturgy. And they accept cash and checks. We've got an address for them. Their headquarters are nearby. Possibly down this street. Are we able to pay them a visit? Maybe not. Maybe it's just the bar that's down there. The barber, even. Not the bar. So this banner on the wall. Thoughts of the person who created it? Roving around like lost sheep. Impatience, fear, doubt. So what do we do first? Does it matter what order we do things in? Let's speak to this lad. He might go away if it becomes nighttime.
Have you been feeling tired lately?
Yes.
Have your wives been hysterical? Your chickens getting sick? Milk going sour for no reason?
Yes!
That's all caused by tempermancy. Curses, black magic, evil energy.
You in charge around here, friend?
Are you the one giving orders to the WAS?
Look who's here. A magician temperomancer. The enemy of humankind.
The ruiner of good fun and the vanquisher of children's smiles. I'll ask again, who is in charge of this circus?
The President told us what you are. If you want to ask him about something in person, have a look at the brochure like the others. You know how to read, right?
But of course. He's not in charge. The President is, and we know where they live. Perhaps.
If the cemetery is sacred to you, why didn't you explain desecrating other people's tombs?
This is all your fault. The black energy has polluted this earth. The dead are outraged by it.
We need to ward off the evil powers.
You're an idiot. Should we go for this? It's a bit confrontational, but these guys are clearly knobs.
I'm getting fed up with you. This is the last moment for you to walk away unharmed.
Demon, devil, let's get him sorted. I can feel my milk going sour at home.
Come on, brothers. Let's put him in his place. Afterwards, pop into our headquarters for some coffee and pastries.
Ooh. I would like some coffee and pastries. Oh, was that offer not aimed at me? Okay. Reduces impact on owner's focus by 1. And we can't disable. Okay. Attack with Bukovac to disable. Can do. Attack with Upir to disable. Very well. So we can't do much about that guy's focus unless we just hit him with Lelek, maybe. So that guy needs to be Bukovac. Who's attacking us right now? So, maybe we start by giving that guy the suffering. And then we can get an attack afterwards, which might interrupt him. Good. Although he gets to act again. First attack on the target. So, if we don't keep interrupting his actions, he's going to get the team counterattack buff. And then he's not going to be a person that we want to target. So I think we'll try and punch him again. And maybe we just howl him again. So we get to act first this time. That might have taken him below 50% HP. Which means we might have suffered someone else. Oh, okay, he got shot off. Very well. But yeah, we did suffer someone else. That's cool. And he is going to go down soon enough to his suffering, so we don't need to worry about attacking him again. Upir, do you want to start working on this lad? Just something quick? Maybe? And then maybe we also attack that guy with something quick. Upir will still go first, so trait will be disabled. I'm really enjoying this combat. It's fun. It's got me thinking. Even if it's not terribly challenging yet. Good. That guy's down. That guy still suffers. No one's attacking me this turn. What if Lelek were to attack this guy? Reduce his focus and... Well, it's not going to reduce his focus because... Oh yeah, normally reduce it by 2. It's only going to reduce it by 1 because of his ability thing. But it'll also interrupt his action because he suffers. And then maybe we attack this guy with what? I would like to get the perfection buff on the go, so let's make him suffer. And then maybe this round we try and interrupt his attack as well. He gets pecked. We've inflicted 1001 damage to our enemies. That's nice. Now that guy's only suffering for one more turn. So, yeah. Lelek, do you want to do the same to that guy? But I would also like to keep him suffering, just so he interrupts his next action. And then we will attack this guy again and try and interrupt his attack again. Good. Oh, we actually put him down. I didn't realise we'd done that. Oh well. We win. Wonderful. So that's those buggers out of the way. Find a way to deal with the WAS. That's still a mission that we have. And it's telling us that to do that we'd want to come this way. Now we can see their place. Warsaw Gazette. Okay, so we've got another gentleman's name. Live photography and war machines. A cinematographer. And general inventor. Interesting. Is he anything to do with the WAS? One would hope not. But maybe now we do go back and visit the cemetery at night. Because if we can figure out what's going on with the corpses and stuff, maybe we can convince the WAS that it was nothing to do with Thaumaturgus. And if we can do that, then maybe they'll just back off peacefully and we won't end up having to punch them all.
Let's wait.
Let's sit down for a bit.
Abauryceniedzits in the underworld. Who would have thought? Right.
Upir would have thought.
Let's wait until...
nighttime.
So, let's kill some time.
Tell me a story, Upir. Now, what have we got? Seems to be pointing us further back towards the entrance, where we find some suspicious gentlemen. Are they the ones that we beat up earlier? Maybe. It seems to want us to leave the cemetery. Oh no, that's because I've got the wrong part selected. Yeah, it's just saying search this general area, which we can do. There's something. A toppled candle. Belongs to the grave robber, perhaps? So there is just a grave robber going about, but what are they doing? Are they just robbing valuables from the corpses? That would be the most basic answer, so it could well be the right one.
Valush, look what they got dragged in.
God damn. Are you the ones disturbing the dead and strewing the bodies all over the graveyard?
No, not that. We are professionals. We've got the troublemaker here.
I bet he'll call the Undertaker. That's too bad.
Are you from the Anti-Thaumaturge Society?
We don't care if they're magicians or not.
Steve, it's Steve.
Interesting. Let's play nice for now.
How about we go our separate ways? You didn't see me and I didn't see you.
Oh, I'm afraid we already saw you clearly. Fuck, I knew Thursday would be no good.
Don't be a sissy. It'll be all over soon. I'll take the coat.
I'll take the clodhoppers.
Why does everyone want my shoes? You're not having them. Right. I'm happy with our upgrades so far. You want Bukovac to attack. You want Upir. Can't do much about you. Well, you can't gain new negative states, so we'll just beat you up once everyone else is down, perhaps. You've got the lowest focus, so maybe you're a good start point. But that guy is restoring health every turn with his abilities, so maybe we start by making this guy suffer. And then what might we want to do? Unithrust inflicts damage. Shallow Cut inflicts damage, so they're going to make us bleed, perhaps. Furious Hit. Who's doing that? That guy in the middle. He's not doing anything for a while. That guy's only really vulnerable to fisticuffs rather than suffering. So let's give him one of those. Now, Upir, you can attack that one to remove his trait. Just get some of his focus out of the way. And that guy on the right is the one who wants to hit us this turn, so maybe we... No, we can't interrupt him, sadly. Maybe we make his friend in the middle suffer. And now we're bleeding. That's fine. Because Lelek can move that onto someone else with one of his abilities. Yeah, removes all negative states from you and transfers them to an enemy. So you peck that guy's head, and you'll also take off 2 of his focus. We could take off further focus by diverting him. But if it moves the ability onto him, yeah, we'll just punch that guy and stop him from giving us more bleeding. He'll just conk us in the head, that's fine. Use attack goes this turn, you are. And again, we can't do much about that. Let's make you suffer a bit more. So yeah, that guy picked up our bleeding now, because Lelek transferred it to him. So he's now taking 1 damage, plus 3 to 4 from that. Quick attack only deals 6 damage. Who's attacking us next? You are. Now, Bukovac can make someone suffer a bit more, perhaps. And it will apply to 2 people. Okay, we're bleeding. A reasonable amount at this stage. You can just get punched, because that will take you out. Yeah, we are on you, that's good. As for you, Doom is slow, but it will finish him off before he attacks next. Yeah, get chomped, son. Cool, so that might be the whole problem of the corpses dealt with. They weren't coming back to life at all. They were just being dug up for their valuables. Yeah. Even those guys are talking about
Thaumaturgy never fails me.
grave robbing.
There is something here.
Where is it, though? Where is the thing that's here? Is it a bit further away? Was it downstairs? He definitely picked up something.
There's something odd nearby.
But I'm not seeing the red sparkles, so... Maybe it's not nearby, and he's just saying it is because there's still a red circle of investigation that we need to look around in. Or maybe it is just a case of reporting back to the gravedigger that we have successfully punched in the people that were responsible for rearranging his stiffs.
Sweet Jesus, don't scare me. I'm just here to see if the dead are lying down as they should.
Okay, there's nothing else we can add.
Good luck with the WAS, you know? Let me know when you get rid of them.
So there is something else going on in this area, it seems. Victor has now stopped saying that there must be something nearby. So I think whatever it is back up there where we just beat up the grave robbers. There we go. A shovel belonging to the grave robber. The resurrected corpses are assisted by a prankster who not only knows this place well but also works here. Interesting. The gravedigger should know him. So presumably it's not the gravedigger themselves then. Can we say that for sure though? Do we have a trace of the gravedigger?
Sweet Jesus, don't scare me. I'm just here to see if the dead are lying down as they should.
I searched the area. Grave robbers are more of a separate issue, but I learned something about the rising corpses.
I'm dying of curiosity. Do you understand?
It seems that the corpses are helped in their wanderings by someone who knows the cemetery well and keeps their tools here.
Hold on. My hands are clean.
And is frustrated by how little you pay him.
Lech? He's my assistant. Are you saying he's involved in this?
Yes. Where can I find him?
And he probably drinks with those friends of his own in Green Square. That louse. If you meet him, tell him he's fired.
Thanks for that.
Goodbye.
Good luck with the WAS, you know? Let me know when you get rid of them.
Cool. So I guess finding Lech is our next sort of goal. That's going to take us back to another area. We also had... Let's see. Yeah, we also have this nighttime quest, which is back in that area. So we've got a few things we can do now that night has fallen. And I think we'll get around to those next time. Hopefully you're enjoying this game as much as I am. I'm having an absolute blast so far. And hopefully I'll see you then. Until then, cheers.